that company was doing $7 million a year in net profit, that business would be worth probably like $40 million or so. You don't know shit, you just know how to hustle. Hustle doesn't mean you know how to run a business. I got friends who like, they sell weed for a full-time job illegally. They're hustlers, but they can't run a business for shit, right? The mastermind, but just like a one-day event. I paid $4K. My dad's driving me to the airport. I have like $5,000 to my name. He's like, how much do you spend? I was like, let's say it's gonna be $7K total. And he goes, good luck getting a return on the $7K. It's a lot of money. Yeah. Do not give a what anyone else does. Not even your parents. I don't even care. The only people that you should care about what they think is the person who has exactly what you want. And everyone around you, your friends, your parents, your teachers, your fucking family, like everyone's telling you it's a bad idea. I don't care what they think. We pay universities hundreds of thousands of dollars over 4 years to have a professor teach us something that they've never done. So why is he teaching me? Literally the most valuable thing is not my money. It's not my crypto portfolio. It's not my company portfolio. It's not bad marketing. It's literally this right here.
Every entrepreneur has that one moment where the game changes forever. So I'll ask you this, Eddie. What was a single turning point for you where you realized it wasn't just working hard, but you were building something bigger than yourself?
Yeah, it's a good question. Look, I think in order for you to build something bigger than yourself, you have to be selfish at first. So it's the same reason why like on airplanes, they'll tell you like, put your own oxygen mask before you help other people, right? Mm-hmm. Same situation. So I really don't think as an entrepreneur, you can focus on helping and doing bigger shit until your own personal finances are covered. And so that was it for me. So like, I think it was probably my first time like making like $20,000 a month for a few months back to back, working for myself, not having a job, doing it out of my family's house, like laptop, Wi-Fi. I realized kind of like I could do this, right? Mm-hmm. It was kind of my baseline. So I was like, okay, dude, if I can make 20 grand a month, now I can play a bigger game because like my fallback is always 20K a month. You know what I mean? Makes sense. I think you got to create that, sense of financial security personally before you can kind of start playing a much bigger game. You know what I mean? If you're not financially secure yourself, you're going to be stressing about money all the time. For sure. You're going to make the wrong decisions.
100%. Well, how would you introduce yourself? And also mainly, why is it that people should be listening to you for the whole hour of this podcast?
Yeah, so long story short, I'm Eddie Maalouf. I run a company called Bad Marketing. So we have about 200 employees. We work with e-commerce brands, info products online. We scale them up. And then I also take company money and my own personal money. I invest in other businesses. We turn those businesses around and then we basically sell them. So I got restaurants, software businesses.
Okay, that's interesting because I thought you was going to say purely e-com businesses based on the fact that, what you do is within e-com, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I mean, we do have e-com brands, but we do have a lot of we have telehealth companies. We have software businesses, B2B. We have software businesses, B2C. We have restaurant chains, exotic car rental companies. So investment portfolio is growing for sure.
Damn, man. Well, how old are you now? You said you're 31 years old, right?
31. I got enough gray hair for a 50-year-old, but I'm 31. It's genetics, I promise.
It's the Lebanese genes, bro.
My dad was gray at like 26.
Every Lebanese person I've met, they've got gray hair somewhere, one way or another.
Right? It's
literally
crazy.
But let's get straight into it, man, because you're 31 years old. I want to know where your whole story starts. What age did you start your first business?
How well you manage your expenses can be the difference between growing your business and stagnating. Staying on top of your business receipts, cards, accountants, and spreadsheets can all be a massive drain on time and energy. Now, you can integrate all of these components in one place with Revolut Business and their comprehensive app, which will enable you to manage your spending, resources, and financial workflow a lot better. You can automate typically manual work with custom APIs and connect your other money management tools. The platform even supports integration of accounting apps like Xero and QuickBooks, so you don't need to worry about the little margins of error that can trip you up on a monthly basis, and instead can be free to focus on what really matters in your business. And here's the best part. Revolut Business have given CEOCAST listeners and viewers the opportunity to earn £200 cash. All you need to do is sign up by scanning the QR code on screen or through the link in the description and add money into your account by the end of March. Look, with the business world increasing automation every single day, don't fall behind by letting the same old manual workflow hold you back. Signing up to Revolut Business is easy, fast, and simple, and it will help level up your financial operations.
Yeah, so it depends how you want to look at it. So I was doing sales, growing up, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever jobs I could. And then I got into university. In university, I did MLM, network marketing. You're familiar?
Okay,
calls them pyramid schemes and shit.
Yep. Wait, so that's something you could actually study in university?
No, but I joined one.
Oh, okay.
No. I went to university to do, I originally went to do medical.
Yep.
Just because I had a knee surgery. I was super passionate about helping other people do it too. And after a month, I was like, fuck this. There's no way I could do 13 years of school. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
13 years, is that what it is here?
Bro, that's what I mean. To do what I wanted to do, which was basically surgery on people's joints.
Yeah.
yeah, you're going to have to do 13 years. So I was like, fuck that, bro. I'm a week in, 2 weeks in. I can't even do this right now. So I changed careers and I basically went into marketing.
Yeah.
Originally my whole life I wanted to do marketing shit, right? I just wanted to like sell shit because I did sales, right?
Yeah.
It was sales. So
For sure.
I was like, okay, marketing's pretty cool, social media, whatever. Back then, like Snapchat was brand new. Like it wasn't, this is like, we're talking like 2011, 2015 in there. And then I basically learned a bunch about social media. I took those skills and I basically decided I want to like take all the supplement companies here in the US. Like you would understand this. So like in the UK, in Lebanon, Beirut, where I'm from, Middle East, everyone watches like American stuff from like, especially in the fitness world. And then they basically, you know, want those things, right? So even the influencers in the UK, the influencers in Australia, New Zealand, all these guys, they all use American products. And so all these other countries watch those same influencers online, but they could never get the products that they use, right? So I basically went while I was in university. I skipped my final exams, which like I negotiated with my teachers. I'm like, dude, I'm in business school and I'm going to start a business. How can you fail me in the fucking class? It doesn't make sense, right? So I negotiated with them on like a score. I was like, just take my average for the year. Let's call it a exam grade, whatever. I basically signed contracts with all the supplement companies here in the US to distribute them in the Middle East. So imagine like Dubai, Egypt, Lebanon, Israel, all these companies or all these countries. I was the one who could distribute all the top brands from influencers in the US. But just due to politics in the Middle East and like making it really hard for me to bring products in because, you know, there's a lot of corruption. And basically products were already there and they were scared that I would take over the market. And so the guys who were getting paid, you know, to get those products in didn't want me to get it in. So they did everything they could illegally, let's call it, to be able to stop me from getting it in. So
to block it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I ditched that business and then I just got straight into running ads and marketing, which I was doing for that business in the first place. And then did it for my family's businesses. Safe little starting point, made no money basically, but used it as like my skill set ground, right? So I used it as a training ground. I played with my family's companies. I learned how to make them money with like low risk, right? And then as soon as I did, everyone started asking me to run their marketing. And then I realized like, hey, maybe I could do it for other people. So I went from like employee to freelancer, right? Freelancer, thinking I'm a business owner. I got a business name and everything, but it's just me doing all the work, right? And then eventually I was like, you know what, fuck it, dude. If I can make 20K a month plus, I could probably hire some people, start with people overseas, get them for cheap. That way I'm not doing crazy payroll here in America. And then boom, all of a sudden starts getting clients. And then I started building systems. I started building, dude, my first 50 clients, I didn't even have a process to like onboard them. They'd sign up and then I'd like get on a call and figure shit out. You know what I mean? Whereas then we started making processes. Okay, now we can sign up 10 people a day instead of 1 a day because they go through this automated system, et cetera. So that was kind of the starting point. And then 2020, you know, started hiring people, got an office, and then kind of just took it seriously from there.
So your first hire was in 2020?
My first hire was in 2019, end of 2019.
Okay, so we only took 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago, basically.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And my first, like, automation was built in 2020. I had fucking nothing. I was, like, literally I still have the notepads to this day just for, like, memory's sake. But I still have the notebooks on my desk at home. And sometimes I just read them. I'm like, dude, my goal was, like, to make 100K a year. Like I thought that was crazy. You know what I mean?
So what you just said there is valuable as well, right? So in the past 6 years, or since you started the business, how big are we talking of the company? You know, how big have you built it?
$20 million a year.
$20 million a year.
Yeah.
So what, in terms of valuation, have you got one?
So at our peak, because we adjusted a lot of things this year, we basically like tried to decrease revenue, increase profit. But let's just say at our peak, that company was doing about, let's call it like $7 million a year in net profit. That business would be worth, in the agency space, probably like $40 million or so. So
$40 million business that you've built by the age of 31.
Yeah.
So that's
and no money down, no investment, things like that, right? It's a lot of people build businesses way past that point, way faster, right? I just saw a software company yesterday. Literally 23-year-old kid started it in 18 months. They sold for $50 million.
Damn, yeah,
so,
crazy.
Like people do that way faster than that. The agency model is not a really good model to get an exit valuation, but it's like really the best business model to just start online from anywhere in the world and not risk money and in exchange make a lot of cash. Like it's just time, right? So it's like I'm selling you on a service versus a product. So like if I'm selling a product online, I have to go buy a bunch of product. I have to spend money on marketing. I have to sell the product. I have to hope that I'm spending less on marketing than I am on the product, you know, than the money that I'm making on the product. Whereas with a service, like an agency, I could just go knock on 1,000 doors, zero cost, get one person to pay me $1,000 a month, and now I have a business. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so that's why I started it. It was just like naturally like the smoothest thing for me to make money online working from home at my parents' house. And then I was like, okay, maybe this can turn into something like really big. Maybe I can turn it into a brand. And that's when we started taking it really seriously.
Do you know what I'm interested in most in? The name, bad marketing. Because, people look at it, they'll get confused by it, really and truly.
Yeah.
So why bad marketing?
Yeah, so BAD stands for bold and disruptive.
Okay.
We want to do some crazy shit. So basically what happened was our company name was 4Media. And why I started as 4Media was because I originally had 3 other partners that I planned on working with. All of us had the last name with M. So I was like, okay, 4M, what can we turn into? 4Media. Okay, cool. So we built this whole sick 4Media brand. We got really big. YouTube got big. Ads got big. Everything got crazy. And then there was a 4Media group out of the UK. And basically people started applying to their business thinking they were working with us. They realized it wasn't. And then they like withdrew their job applications or like, withdrew their proposal to basically work with them, whatever it is. And then they worked with us, realizing it's us. So they took it as a bad thing when really it's a good thing. They're getting overflow from our shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they don't even have an existence online. And they basically tried to basically take us to court for the name. I find out that they had a signed contract in the US a month before we had our first signed contract.
Okay.
So that's kind of what they base it on. It's just called like common law.
Yeah.
And asked like 10 lawyers, like, dude, you could fight this in court. You have, 100 million views every quarter. They have nothing. You have this brand. They have nothing. You have a podcast. They have nothing. Keeps going down the list. But they used it a month before you, so that if depending on the judge, you might lose. Is it really worth? Yeah. It's like, is it really worth the fucking name? So I'm like, you know what? It's probably not worth the name.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we already got the results. We already got the credibility. Like we got the brand. Like, let's just do some crazy shit. Like what would be like something so out of pocket as a marketing agency that would make someone want to work with you because you're so different, right? I want to be like what liquid death is to water. How could I be that to a marketing agency, right?
Yeah.
So we started thinking we thought of like 1,200 names. And none of them just felt right. And then my CFO sarcastically was like, well, fuck it. Why don't we just like name it bad marketing? Like no one has bad marketing. Cause think about it. We were picking another name and this time we're like, let's pick a name that isn't used by anyone for sure. So that when we get into the situation, we don't have to go to court again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we did. We found bad marketing. It wasn't used for like 4 or 5 years. So we basically took it. We bought the domain. We did everything. And then you have it's pretty cool. You have a 6 month period or so when you file a trademark for someone else to basically like dispute it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So we were 6 months. We filed the trademark. We're quiet, whatever. And then literally the last day, someone appealed it, and it was the guy who owned bad marketing 4 years ago out of like a garage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So back to the same lawyer situation all over again. But this time we had already used the name for a year. So we knew the name was worth it.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it. I'll settle it. I'll pay him money, cash, to just like stop bothering me and just give me the name. That's what he wants at the end of the day. Basically, a lawyer came to him. They're like, hey, this Eddie guy's got money.
Yep.
He's got bad marketing. You used it first. You could probably sue him. You could probably win. And then so we ended up just settling man to man. I paid him a good amount of money, very healthy money. And I took the brand name, and now we have the trademark bad marketing, and it's definitely becoming like a serious brand.
It all starts from an idea, right? So before we get into the idea of why you started this business, let's go all the way back to your upbringing. You as a kid, Lebanese in America. I think the only other Lebanese person I spoke to is George. Funny enough, your
Homies.
beautiful Ferrari was there.
Oh, really? You saw it? Yeah.
I saw your Ferrari there. He was like, that's Eddie's. He was like, when are you doing Eddie Maalouf? I was like, later on, bro. Like, this is literally within the first 2 days of coming to America. But yeah, tell me about your upbringing, man.
Listen, guys, you know I wouldn't interrupt an episode unless it's an important message. And right now, I'm here to tell you all about wealth. Now, there are loads of supplement brands out there. So let me tell you why I specifically chose Sunnah supplements. First and foremost, one of the most important things for me, and probably you, halal certified. And for those of us who actually care about what goes into our body, this matters most. Most brands probably can't say that. Secondly, transparency. No proprietary blends hiding wheat doses. You know exactly what you're getting. And thirdly, one of the most important things for me is the charity element. You're also getting into something that aligns with your values. And lastly, let me tell you the actual real thing. Everything works. With over 100,000 customers, sold out multiple times, launched in the USA, it is undeniably great. For me, when I look at Sunnah supplements, it's not just a supplement company. It's a company that really wants to do better for the world. A company that I really align with. So if you want to support us and join the movement, all you have to do is go on sunnahsupplements.com, use the code CEOCAST for 10% off, and join the movement. I'll make it easier for you. There's a QR code on the screen right now. Scan that. It will take you directly there, and make sure you use the code CEOCAST for 10% off at checkout. They've got products for everyone and anyone, so I'm sure you'll find something there for you.
Yeah, so my family's Lebanese. My dad migrated to America, like hardest working dude I know. Never stopped working, so I always got to see him work, right? But the thing is, like, people don't realize is sometimes when you're an immigrant into a country like America, especially back in like the 80s and 90s, there's no like you don't have like a degree, you don't have like corporate experience, like you can't just go work for like a big company. Like nowadays, like American companies will go recruit people from like India, from the Middle East, etc. They'll move them here. Yeah. There'll be people with like certain amount of dev experience, project management experience, whatever it is, on the move them here. Back in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't like that, right? It was very hard to get in the country. It wasn't like such an open source talent pool with the internet, like that didn't exist. And so like people weren't just like recruiting people from India to come to America and stuff. So I say all that to say, when you come to America, you got to kind of make it on your own. You can't just go get a corporate job, right? So I never grew up thinking like I was going to get a corporate job, which was like, I think, really advantageous to me. I always saw my dad just run companies, right? He had a flooring business. He had a family entertainment business where like, you know, it was like where kids do birthday parties and shit like that. And like, I kind of saw all these business ideas that he did, and he always had a business. Like whether times were rough, whether times were good, like he always just like tried to solve the business. You know, he never like worked a job. So working a job never really crossed my mind, to the point that when I went to college, like we have like career fairs here in the US for universities, like once every month or two. Companies come, they set up booths, and you talk to companies, and you like basically try to get a job in 3-4 years. Yeah,
makes sense.
So my friends were all going to career fairs, and I was like fucking confused. I'm like, why are we going? I thought we're just like in college, like to like just get a degree and like go start a business. You know what I mean? Like it never kind of processed to get a job. But that was the kind of first time that it did. And so unfortunately, even after I graduated, because I was doing the whole supplement company thing, I couldn't just like do nothing. I'd be bored. So I went and applied to get jobs with my marketing degree, and I couldn't get a fucking job, bro. And I had really good scores. I mean, you can see how I talk. I talked really well back in the day too. You know what I mean? I was a very good communicator. That was always my skill. I did the network marketing stuff. I had like 1,500 people on my team. Like I got good at talking to people. You know what I mean? So it wasn't that I was a bad interviewer. It wasn't that I was lack of experience. I had more experience than almost anyone in the marketing space because I did that shit. I didn't just get a degree. Yeah. And I still couldn't get a fucking job, bro. Like literally minimum wage. They wouldn't even pay me. I could only get sales jobs. And so that was an awakening too. I was like, okay, cool. Like for the rest of my life, I'm just going to depend on
Was it the sales jobs because, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not salary based, it's just straight commission?
Exactly, right? Yeah. So I basically
they're not losing out anyway.
Yeah, so they'll market it as like a marketing job. Yeah. And then I'll go to the interviews, and like halfway through I'm realizing they're asking me like knock on people's doors and sell them shit. Yeah. I'm like, dude, fuck. You know what I mean? So that was a wake up call, because dude, honestly, like maybe if I got a really good job, maybe I'm not who I am today. You know what I mean? Maybe I like that one difference of like, man, it's really fucking hard to get a job. I'm never going to do this again. I'm just going to make my own job. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that was a huge pivoting point too. Whereas like, you know, if I got a job and it was a really good secure job at the time, maybe I'm sitting here at 31 making like 150, 200K a year.
Yeah, it would have been comfortable.
Yeah, it would have been comfortable, and that's sick to me. And, you know, if I look at my friend group from childhood, like that's good money. Like whoever's making 200K in the group is balling out. Salary, man. Yeah, exactly. Right. So that maybe my whole life would have been different. Maybe I wouldn't even have married my wife for all I know. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't have been able to go like to Lebanon for 3 months because I had a job. You know what I mean? That's where I met my wife. So yeah, I think all the pieces kind of fell together after that. But it was cool in the upbringing side, like seeing my dad always run a company. I never had spring breaks and stuff. Like all my white friends would like go to the beach. Yep. Like they would fucking have a great time. And then my dad was like, oh yeah, you're working. So I'd go with him to work. I'd lay down flooring, carpet, tiles. I'd sell stuff, like whatever he needed to do. I was just kind of there. Every time we had a day off, I'd work with him. And so I got to see, one, how hard he worked, but two, like that he was just making it on his own, right? And so that's kind of what became ingrained in my head. And so I think the work ethic was really, really strong out the gate. And I could see the persistence through my dad that like anything's just like, most things that people view as like path stopping are just like small obstacles that you just need to resolve and keep going, right? Yeah. Like so many times I was with my dad and shit would happen. I'm like, dude, disaster. Like we're fucked. You know what I mean? And then like I'd watch him like find a way to solve it, right? Every single time. And so I kind of grew up knowing that everything was solvable, right? That's pretty cool.
So would you say that when you were younger, the environment that you had around you shaped the way you are right now?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. It shaped it from two standpoints. One, I think work ethic. I think like if my family, so my dad did well. He could have spoiled us. He never did. Like my dad never even bought a car more expensive than like a Tahoe. Like that's it. He could have bought a Ferrari at some point, right? But he never did. He didn't care. He just bought like a Tahoe.
The son did.
Yeah, literally. Like, I mean, he was just like the most basic human. That was pretty cool because I got to see that as well, right? So upbringing, I wasn't spoiled. It taught me hard work. He wouldn't even let me go on vacations with my friends and stuff. I would just work instead. Even when we went to Lebanon in the summer for the Middle East, I would work all summer. Like I got a job and I would work, and like, don't get me wrong, I'd have fun all the time, but like I'd also work. And I was always curious for work and learning more and stuff like that. And so I think that shaped me really well. I'll tell you another thing that shaped me really well was probably the network marketing stuff. When I was in university and like doing that, like it teaches you a lot about like leading people. It teaches you a lot about communicating with people. It teaches you a lot about sales. It teaches you to like really not give a fuck because you're getting made fun of for like selling this thing, and like you kind of have to block out all the noise. But at the same time, you still have to have the balls to like walk up to a random person and like pitch them on your product.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like between that, like that shaped me so much as a man too, and as a leader and a businessman, because like I stopped caring less about what like people think. And I also became a much better leader because I had to like lead people, and they were all depending on me and my advice and my leadership for them to make more money, right? So it was a pretty good amount of responsibility.
So when you started your business, all these skills you had learned, did it feel like a natural point of, right, when I start my business, I've got all this knowledge, all this capability for me to go?
No, bro. I thought I had it all. I was fucking retarded.
Okay, talk to me about the early stages then.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like you don't know shit. You just know how to hustle.
Yeah.
Like hustle doesn't mean you know how to run a business. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you got friends who are hustlers, but I got friends who like fucking they sell weed for a full-time job illegally. You know what I mean? They're hustlers, but they can't run a business for shit, right? But they're fucking one of the hardest working guys I know. Yeah. So hard work and that kind of experience that I had in leadership and stuff doesn't necessarily correlate to business, because like I said, bro, even the first few years of my business, I didn't have a single automation. I didn't have a process. I didn't have a standard operating procedure, SOP. I had no like targets besides like me on a piece of paper being like, I want to hit this number. You know what I mean? How am I going to hit it? Let me backtrack it, whatever. It was just pure grit and hustle. And it took me a few years to even build like my first automation. And actually that came because I actually paid a guy who had a marketing agency to teach me like what he was doing. And then I learned, I need to make an onboarding automation. When I sign someone up, I need to like fill out a form that triggers all the stuff that starts, instead of me manually doing it and following up with my team. Did you do this thing? Did you do this step 4, step 5, step 6? You know what I mean? So I started creating automated processes in the business. I think the fastest way, if we're talking like learn business, is to just like pay someone who's already done what you're trying to do and just pay them for information. Like if they have a course, buy their fucking course. If they have a community, buy their community. If they don't, message them, try to buy their time, spend a few hours with them, like have them teach you the ropes, learn from their mistakes.
Find a mentor.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And at the end of the day, like what people don't realize is like, let's say I pay someone $5,000 to learn something. Whatever. I only have 10, I pay him 5. Yeah. Bro, that 5 is going to save me not only so much money in savings in the future from mistakes, but it's going to help me get to more money quicker, right? If I pay him that 5, I might make 50 that year more 100% because of that 5, as long as I actually implement it and not just like sit here mentally masturbating to fucking information. Like
that's a great way to look at it, man, because I think nowadays, there's so many people online who sell some sort of info product, right? Even me, for example, I don't sell directly an info product, but I sold a mastermind, right? It was $5,000 a ticket. Now, the people that came to there, that $5,000 investment, all of them have, maximized it in terms of their ROI, right? They might have got 10K, 20K, 30K, whatever it may be, or the connections. I know like a couple of guys bought properties from each other. Like that's a transaction right there. Yeah. So I am fully believer of what you just said right there, in terms of get someone or pay someone, get the mentorship you need. In this day and age, it's the best thing you can do, literally.
Yeah, it's really the shortcut to success, bro. Yeah. People don't look at it that way. Because everyone's selling shit online, they look at it as scammy. And I get it. It's hard to trust the right people sometimes. But bro, we've always been paying for information. We pay universities fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars over 4 years to have a professor teach us something that they've never done. Like, what, a physics professor teach me physics? How is that going to help me? Yeah. And then the business professor doesn't even run a business. Like, his full-time job is this because he couldn't run a business. So why is he teaching me? You know what I mean? I would rather pay a fraction of that, learn from someone else. And what people don't realize, bro, is when you pay someone who's in a higher position than you to learn, I think the problem is people's expectations are, okay, hey, Eddie, I'm going to pay you $5,000 to teach me how to run a marketing agency. And I'm expecting to have a marketing agency built and running for me, et cetera, without me actually like
doing anything.
Exactly. Right. Like, or even doing a little bit and it's going to be super easy. No, bro, I'm just giving you the playbook. I'm giving you the information. It's like, I could teach you how to get into the NBA, But if you're not willing to work fucking 10 years straight and put in work every single fucking day, it's not going to fucking happen, bro. I could give you the exact blueprint and guarantee 100% you're going to make it. But you don't follow it, there's no 100% available. You know what I mean? And so I think that's the problem. People are like, we live in a victim society right now, and people just like try to blame everyone else for their problem. So I didn't make it because your course sucked. You know what I mean? How I look at it is like, dude, when I buy something for $5,000, all I need is like one thing to justify the $5,000 purchase price, because I could take that one piece of information and like go make millions of dollars from it, or go make hundreds of thousands of, or even tens of thousands of dollars from it, right? But I think other people do the opposite. They're looking for like all the reasons why something isn't going to work or why it's too hard, whatever. Whereas like as an opportunist, I look at it as like, okay, I paid $5,000 for this event. I don't need to learn everything. I got like 3 things. I met this guy. This guy told me to do this in my business. That was a really good idea. And I saw this guy doing this one thing, and I can't believe I never thought of that. I'm going to do that.
Or this guy told me about this software for me to integrate.
That's it, right? And then boom, all of a sudden I ROI like 100x over time. So I think people just like look at it the wrong way, and they self-reflect their doubts and their lack of ability to execute on the person who sold them the thing.
Did you ever do that? Have you got any examples of when you've paid someone for their time or course or whatever, and the results you've got out of it?
Oh, bro. I mean, I've probably spent near $500,000 in education, masterminds, etc. If we include like travel and everything there, for sure, right? Like even if I pay for a 30K a year mastermind, they have 3 events. I'm also spending like $5K every time I'm traveling, plus the 30K. You're talking 45, 50 Gs. Some years I'm in 3, 4, or 5 groups.
What about the very first time where you experienced it?
Dude, the first time I experienced it, I actually I remember I had made like, maybe I had like $8,000 to $10,000 total. And there was an event in San Diego. It was actually my friend. Now we're homies. His name is Billy Jean, is marketing. Super cool guy in San Diego. If you're into marketing and stuff, you should definitely follow him. But I basically, he was doing like a day in the office. I had already bought his course. I had learned some stuff back in like, we're talking 2016, 2017. I had paid him for courses, like $500, learned a bunch of stuff, used that to like sell better clients, whatever. I made my ROI. And then he's like, hey, one day in my office, 20 people, $3,000 a seat.
Like a mastermind, basically.
Yeah, a mastermind, but just like a one-day event.
Yeah.
San Diego. I was like, fuck it, dude, I'm going to go. I gotta go just meet this guy in person. I think I'll get value. So I go, I actually bought it. I bought it for actually me and my wife at the time. I bought us both a ticket. So they gave me a discount. They said, let's say I paid $4K. So I'm going to the airport. My dad's dropping me off. I still live at home. You know, I'm driving a Nissan Altima, barely turns on. My dad's driving me to the airport. I have like $5,000 to my name. And he's like, what are you going for? And I told him, I was like, hey, this guy did this thing. And I spent, he's like, how much did you spend? I was like, I spent like $3K a ticket plus like the travel plus. Let's say it's going to be $7K total. And he goes, good luck getting a return on the $7K, bro. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I think that's the difference between the people who, and not that my dad didn't do well, right? But my dad did well and then like plateaued. Yeah. Because he wasn't getting new information from people who are ahead of him, right? And I always recognized from a young age, 18, 19, 20, let's say, that I need to get information from the people who are already doing it, because like these guys know something that my dad doesn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've been learning from my dad, his friends, the people around me, my teachers. That's all I'm consuming.
Well, if you want to go to that level up, you got to go find those people.
Yeah, like my dad's like, oh, why would you pay this guy fucking $7,000? Well, dad, this guy makes $1 million a month. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if I just learn like one thing, I might be able to make $100K a month. I don't need to make $1 million, but if I make $100K, that's fucking crazy. So that was the first experience where it was like my dad didn't trust that I made a good investment, with no context except just the fact that I spent money, not realizing the value of the money and the information and the return that I would receive if I was actually going to execute the shit that I learned. You know what I mean?
And how was it when you went there?
It's fucking awesome, bro. I met so many people. There's like 5 people from those 20 that are still like homies. And we're like 8 years removed from that day. And like we still do business together. I mean, bro, in 2 weeks, I'm flying to one of their events. He paid me to come speak at his event in Vegas. Like we're tight. We do cross promotions together. Me and Billy Jean, the guy who ran the event, we promote each other's stuff all the time. There's easily 6 figures, multiple 6 figures a year of transaction volume between us. You know what I mean? All from that like one
time you went there.
One time, right? That kind of started everything.
And the thing is, it's not necessarily that it's going to pay off the day after, but as you just said right now, it's been 8 years since that event and it's still paying off. But it would all come from that one event.
Yeah, and that's because I applied myself too, right? If I went to that event, I didn't meet anyone. I just tried to learn. I didn't network with anyone, whatever. Maybe the ROI would have been gone, right? But I created connections. And I think that's probably like the most valuable thing you can do. If you're trying to start a business or you're trying to get into business or grow a business, the most valuable thing you can do is build your network. Because right now you could strip me of all my money. You could strip me of all my team members. You could strip me of everything except my skills and my network. And just from the people that I know, I could go start massive companies, have massive ownership in these companies, and they fulfill and I build them, and we can create multiple 8-figure businesses, right? That's from connections.
Yeah.
If I don't have those connections, it's way harder, right? Like anything I need, I'm like 2 text messages away. I text one person who texts someone else who puts us in a group chat, and I'm there. You know what I mean? In any situation. So almost anyone who's like a CEO of any business or anything is like literally 2 people removed from me at this point because of the network that I built. Like literally the most valuable thing is my contact list on my phone.
The black book.
Yeah, it's not my money. It's not my crypto portfolio. It's not my company portfolio. It's not bad marketing. It's literally this right here. And you can spend 10 years building that, and you can do one thing wrong and ruin the entire reputation of the entire thing. And that's why it's so valuable.
You know, everything we've just said in the last 5 minutes, there's only one word that comes to my mind, right? Can you guess what that word is?
No.
Trust.
Trust. Oh, that's a good
Right?
one.
Trust. Everything you've just said there revolves around trust. Now, as you transfer this to your own life and your own business, how have you made Eddie Maalouf trustable to other people, but also bad marketing trustable to other people?
Yeah. So look, trust and confidence come from the same thing. It's just confidence is self and trust is someone else. Okay. And that one thing is I said something and I did it. It's that simple.
Yep.
Every time you say something to yourself as a man or as a woman, whatever, but like the point is every time you say something to yourself, you're signing a contract with yourself and it's your job to fulfill it. Example, I'm going to start my diet tomorrow and I'm going to get a 6-pack in 60 days. Okay. You're telling yourself, okay, Eddie, you're making this agreement to do this thing. And then you go tell your friends, bro, I'm going to have a 6-pack in 60 days. I'm going to have a 6-pack in 60 days.
Yeah.
And then what happens? 60 days comes by and you're still fat. You did the thing for a week. You lost motivation, whatever, it's out the door. Now your friends lose trust in you, right? That you're going to follow through on the things that you say because they hear you all the time say something and then you don't do the thing that
Like the boy who cries wolf.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So that's trust. And at the same time, I lose confidence in myself, not because I failed, but because I didn't even try and do it properly. And so now I don't even trust myself, which is where confidence comes from. If I fully trust myself to execute whatever it is that I'm doing, then I have confidence. And when people feel the confidence, they automatically associate that with trusting you because, wow, Eddie is so confident in what he's saying. I should trust Eddie. Look at his confidence, right? Over time, the more you build your foundation on smoke and mirrors, the trust goes away and your own self-confidence goes away because it becomes deceptive. And so you don't even believe the things that you're saying anymore and no one else believes the things that you're saying. So the reason Eddie Maalouf as a brand has trust is because I've never fucked over people for money. There's never been a world where I prioritize money over someone else or a relationship. Whether you're a team member, whether you're a client, whether you're someone who's buying a course from me, whether you're someone who's buying a client's course. You know, there are clients who paid us a lot of money who we stopped working with because we felt like their product wasn't delivering anything of value. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so like at the end of the day, like if you do the right thing over time, it's harder to make money because other people are doing shady shit and they're making a lot more money because they're doing shady shit. But long term, it all falls through, right? Like even right now, I don't know how real it is, but like in the last 48 hours, like huge lawsuit against Ty Lopez.
Yeah, I'll see that.
So over $100 million for raising all that money. And you know what? I actually watched them raise all the money. And I thought it was a bad idea from the start, but he's getting sued now because like he overpromised all these people these things, nothing happened, and then everyone feels like they got scammed, and it was in the end over $100 million of people contributing. And so, you know, however it shakes out, you know, I don't have too much insight on the subject. Maybe he's right and they're wrong, whatever. But it's more like how much trust is now lost, not only in him, but in the entire environment of people selling products online or creating social media content or whatever because of that one person, right? And so like he prioritized money and, you know, saying he's making an impact and feeling bigger and all this stuff than actually doing the right thing and trying to create a product that people actually want to buy.
He was living off of his ego.
Great way to put it, right? And so again, nothing towards Ty. I think Ty is actually one of the smartest motherfuckers on this earth.
Really?
Like really, truly. If you sit with a guy, he's very, very well educated, very, very intelligent guy. He knows what he's doing. He's very methodical on everything he does. He's very strategic. But you know, when you take money from other people, especially $100 million, you gotta like live up to the reason you're taking it from people. And if you don't, then you have to pay the consequences.
That's interesting you say that, right? Because, you know, I've never met Tai Lopez, nor have I done a podcast with him or anything like that. However, you know, the first thing, and if anyone mentions Tai Lopez's name, the first thing I think of is Here in My Garage, you know, that sort of video, right? So he's been in the marketing game for F knows how long. That has been a very, very long time. When was the first time you saw him, and what was your first initial thoughts of him versus what you just said right now?
Yeah, I mean, I first saw him on like YouTube ads back in, I don't know what year it was.
Like 2013, same sort of time probably, isn't it?
Was it that long ago?
It might have been, maybe, yeah.
No, I don't think mine was 2013, but I would say like 2015
around
to 2018-ish or so, for me at least. And I remember I was like, okay, this is cool. I never bought any of Ty's stuff, just to be clear. I bought other people's stuff. Like I told you, I bought Billie Jean stuff. Back in the day, I bought Dan Henry stuff. Now we're close friends. I bought Joel Kaplan stuff. Now we're close friends. Because I went through these people's programs, and then I ended up becoming elite as well. And then now we share information. Yep. It's win-win, right? But yeah, I mean, initially when I saw it, like, I'm an opportunist. I'm not skeptical. So like, I am skeptical. I take that back. But like, I bet on myself. So I'm like, you know what? If Ty can give me like this much information, and Ty can do it, then I can probably do it too. And then you read the testimonials and you're like, bro, if this guy can do it, I can do it too. You know what I mean? That's how I think. Versus I think most people, and this is why they don't succeed or get into business in the first place, is they look at someone else, they see Eddie, they go, wow, man, Eddie's got all this. Yeah, but Eddie's special. Yeah. You know, I can't be Eddie.
Or he got lucky.
Yeah, he got lucky. Or like, bro, Eddie's like, bro, look how fucking sick Eddie is at talking to people. I can't do that because I'm not as good as Eddie. You know what I mean? Like, Eddie wasn't that good back in the day. You know what I mean? Eddie just believed that he could do the thing, and that's why he actually ended up doing it, right? Whereas most people look at other people's success and they find reasons to justify why that person can be successful and it can't be me at the same time. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest kind of problem. But yeah, I saw Ty and all this stuff, and I was about it. I attended fucking every webinar I could. You know, that's why I bought shit. Dude, on the flight to Thailand, I was watching a webinar recording, and then I landed and bought a Facebook ads course. And I was so into this shit, bro, that I was in Thailand going out, partying, all this shit. I get back home at like 4 or 5 a.m. I get on my laptop and watch videos from the fucking course. You know, my cousin would be asleep in the other room. And then like 8 o'clock, I'd pass out 3-4 hours, whatever. We get up at 11, 12. And then like we go run the day again. And then back home. And I'm like literally coming back with like drinks in my system and shit. And I'm like sitting here watching videos. You know what I mean? Because I was like that hungry for knowledge and information. And I didn't really care like if people thought these guys were scamming. The shit that they were teaching was gold at the end of the day, bro. There's a reason they're making money and I'm not.
Yeah. Look, you've been around the content paradigm for pretty much a decade now, right? You've seen you've seen marketing shift from, I suppose, billboards to magazines to now full-on content machine, right? Where are we at in today's society, and where would you think is the most powerful point we've been with marketing?
Look, I think it's always the most powerful point. It's like things only get easier to access and distribution only becomes easier. Okay. Obviously there's like gold times, right? Like back in fucking 2017 to 2019, bro, I was running ads on Facebook. I could print money online like nobody's business. And anyone could, quite frankly. You know, I just go fucking, okay, let me go get some colored AirPods, sell them online. All of a sudden we're doing fucking $500K a month out of a basement. You know what I mean? Like those times are gone. Now it requires more effort. But in general, marketing and distribution of content in general, I think it's just always at the same exact point. It's just switching platforms, right? So like we used to maybe watch more shit on TV. Now people started moving towards social media. And guess what happened? It's kind of like the cycle. So like we went from TV, radio, whatever, billboards. We still have those things, right? Mail, they still exist. But then attention started going to social media. Like how many hours a day you think you spend on social media?
4? I don't even want to calculate it.
4, 5,
That's
6?
toxic. Yeah, maybe 6, I want to say.
That's what I'm saying, right?
I'd say altogether 6. You talk about morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it may be.
That's what I'm saying. It's a fuck ton of time, right? Most people are like that. So like 6 hours a day. Like, so now attention started shifting here. So now money started shifting into where people's attention is. But at the same time, now that attention is so dense. It's good because there's so much time that people are spending. So you have more opportunities to sell to them, to reach them, whatever the case is. But you also have so many more people you're competing with. Like, how many videos are you watching in that 6-hour time span?
Oh, you don't even know.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like, you need to work harder to stand out in the hundreds, because there is so much quantity that you need to have a different level of quality to be able to, stand out. But number two, cycle, all these other things, billboards, mailers, TV, etc., are now so undersaturated, but they still have attention, just maybe less attention. But let's just say they have 50% less attention, but price is down 10 times. That's half the attention for 10 times less the cost.
Yeah.
That's a 5x return more. If you calculate,
I get what you're saying,
what I mean?
Yeah.
So now you'll see a lot of brands and companies, even me right now, start finding ways to advertise on television. They'll start finding ways to send direct mail to people's houses. Because, bro, when I was growing up, we'd open the mail, and fucking once a week we'd open the mail. We'd have 70 fucking coupon offers. One for Burger King, one for McDonald's, one for everywhere. Fucking every restaurant possible, just like that. Now, we open the mail and there's nothing. There's like a few bills and maybe like one promo letter. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, it's significantly less saturated, but everyone still has homes and everyone's still getting mail. And they're still opening it. Instead of maybe opening it daily, they're opening it once a week, once every 2 weeks.
But you have more chance of them seeing it as well.
Exactly, because now the saturation is lower. So I think the opportunity is always the same. It's just a shift in where the attention is and where the value per attention is as a whole. You know what I mean?
But then the question comes with stuff like billboards or, mail and stuff like that. On social media, you can track everything, right? How can you track stuff that's physical?
It's the same. So at the end of the day, everything that's physical leads to something digital.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like, what am I going to do? I'm going to send you a coupon, and then what are you going to do with the coupon?
Go on the website or wherever it is.
Exactly. You're going to fucking go on the website and buy the pair of shoes with a $20 off coupon, right? I'm going to know that you came from that coupon. You know what I mean? I'm going to know that you scanned this QR code. I'm going to know that you went to this link on the billboard, or you went to this phone number on the billboard. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So as long as there's a click, whether it's a phone number, whether it's a website, you can track that click. So like, for example, I run ads for lawyers, right? We'll give a certain phone number on radio. We'll give a different phone number on billboards. We'll give a different phone number on our website. So anytime someone calls in, we knew that this person called from a billboard.
Okay, makes sense.
And you want to take it further, we knew this person called from a billboard in Georgia versus a billboard in Alabama versus a billboard in wherever.
Yeah.
Because each one has a different set of numbers.
Yeah.
So everything is trackable at the end of the day. Like even TV ads, right? Like right now we run ads on like Hulu, right? Live streaming shit. For example, like whatever, my girl's watching Love Island, right? I run ads to her as a female because I'm selling female products.
Yep. She
She sees my ad on Hulu. I now can track digitally that she saw my ad on Hulu. So when she goes to buy, even though she can't click through on Hulu, when she goes on Google and searches and then buys that product in 3 days, I know that she saw my ad on Hulu 3 days ago and she bought today.
Okay.
So Google might take credit for the click. Google's like, oh, she searched on Google, it's ours. But I know, hey, she actually watched this on Hulu. So she saw this on Love Island on an ad, and then she came 3 days later and she bought it. And so here we are. And so you can kind of attribute everything nowadays because everything is, for the most part, trackable because it's on your device. You know what I mean? So like if I run any ad to any streaming platform, I know it's on your device.
Yeah.
Right? So like that's already tracked.
Yep.
It's just you watching it, I know it's you. So when you go buy something later, I know you watch this ad.
Yeah. What's Eddie Maalouf's golden nuggets for marketing? Creating a good piece of marketing, should we say?
Yeah. I'll tell you. I actually just yesterday I was sitting at dinner, and it was like 20 multiple 8-figure, 9-figure brands, e-commerce brands, and one of them was selling. They sell meals like food, like meal plan company. You know what I mean? And now they're launching supplements, and they're like, man, we can't figure out why our supplements aren't selling. And bro, this is a fucking $1 billion company. You know what I mean? Like they can't figure this out. They have all the research, the marketing team, whatever. And I was like, you know what? Let's play a little game here. This is what I do for marketing. I was like, let's play a game. And I'm just going to ask you why, like 10 layers deeper than like the surface level. And let's figure out why people actually buy your shit. Okay. And let's just go a little bit deeper. And so I think a lot of people will do this. This is what they did. They go, okay. I go, okay, why do people want to buy meal plans? And they're like, oh, it's because, they want convenience. I'm like, well, that's not true. If I wanted convenience, then I would just Uber Eats everything that I want every single time, because that's convenient. Because I think of, I want pizza and I get pizza.
Yep, for sure.
So it can't just be convenient. So why do people buy it? And then they go, okay, you know what? You're right. Okay, so it's not just convenience. They do it because they want to eat healthier. I'm like, okay, that's another step. Let's take that step. What do they want about eating healthier? Like, is it they want better nutrition? They want more vitamins? They want to be healthier internally? What is it? And they're like, yeah, I think it's that. I'm like, I don't think so. Let's think again. Why do people actually buy your stuff? And then we got to the conclusion, they actually buy your stuff for the macros. They say, okay, I want 18 grams of protein. I don't want to eat more calories.
That's exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
Right? It's macros.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so let's think about it this way. I was like, you're building a supplement and trying to sell them a supplement which was super greens. You know what I mean? Like the super green blend mix.
Yep.
I was like, you're trying to sell your audience a supplement for nutrition, when none of them fucking value nutrition. They value macros. That's why they're buying your stuff. They're not buying your meal prep and they're saying, how much vitamin B is in this meal? They don't give a fuck about that, right?
Yeah.
And so you're actually thinking completely wrong about your same audience. You just haven't asked why enough times to get to the same answer that we just did here in like 3 minutes, right? And so they're like, you're right. We need to do more sports nutrition based products. So then we started thinking, okay, maybe a fat burner, maybe like an appetite suppressant, maybe things around food and losing weight.
And around their goals.
And around their goals, exactly, which is the real reason they're fucking doing it, bro. You know what I mean? If it was just convenience, they do Uber Eats. If it was just for being healthy, they would make the food themselves.
Yeah.
It's a mix of all of it together. And so how can we make a supplement that fits that need?
Yeah.
And let's just ask why deeply enough. And I'll tell you, the best marketing campaigns are the ones that ask why enough times to get to the actual answer, not to the assumed answer that a business owner has. Like another company we sold a bunch for was Clear Protein.
What do you mean clear protein?
Sorry, flavorless protein.
Okay, flavorless protein. Okay,
yeah, flavorless protein. There's clear protein companies too. They look like water, but like this was flavorless protein.
Yep.
And they're selling it because they thought, people mixed it with food, and they they could mix it with other things, and they maybe thought it was good for bloating and blah blah blah. They thought of all these reasons, and then we took everyone that's ever bought their fucking protein, and we like asked them privately, anonymously, why do you buy this shit? And every single person didn't say bloating. They didn't say because it's healthy. They didn't say because of the amount of protein in it. They didn't say anything except it's flavorless. So I mix it with water and it tastes like nothing. Yeah. And I love that. And I can mix it with an energy drink. I can mix it with whatever I want. And I'm able to have the protein. And I was like, dude, for the last 5 years, you as a company have been selling all these perks and features and all this shit about the protein.
Yeah, but they don't care.
They don't give a fuck, bro. They just want to know that it's flavorless, and then their mind will take them to all the places that they can do things with it.
Yeah.
And then we just went, okay, we're only advertising flavorless. We're not going to talk about anything else. That can be on the website. But in our ads, in our marketing, it's just flavorless protein. Bro, the company practically 3x'd like right away because the marketing messaging was so much more aligned with what people actually
so much more direct.
Yeah. And so as business owners, especially novice business owners, we make assumptions of why people want to buy our product, because that's why we maybe made the product in the first place.
Yep.
But once people actually start transacting and buying the product, they might be buying it for a different reason. We're just not asking why enough, whether it's to ourselves or whether it's to the customers that are buying that product. And like, quite frankly, that is probably the most valuable piece of marketing advice, because that translates to every platform. That translates to running shit on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. Like all these are just forms of distribution. It's the messaging that needs to be good, right? If the messaging is correct, then that's when you have a winning business at the end of the day.
How would you say in all of that you grew your business? Because, marketing, I understand, is definitely one of the top things a company or business has got to prioritize in order to grow, right? How do you do it for your own marketing agency?
Dude, I spend a ton of money on an internal content team. So I think organic content is super important. I think paid content is super important. And that's what we do. We do both. So I practice what I preach at the end of the day. So we probably spend about maybe $35,000 a month just on our organic content team. That's like filming me, editing me, filming bad marketing, editing.
You're all in-house team.
Oh yeah, YouTube channels, LinkedIn, whatever, blah, blah, right? Yeah. The whole nine. That's just organic. Then we have paid, where we have the team literally making paid advertising, creating paid funnels. The same thing that I do for my clients. I take their business, I figure out how are we going to sell this business, and I run ads literally selling that business. You know what I mean? And that's what we do for bad marketing. So most of our sales come from ads that people get on Instagram, on YouTube, on these platforms, cold. They've never heard of us before. They watch the ad. They think it's sick. They go to a website landing page. They're able to learn more about the business. I'm usually focusing on one pain point at a time. If I run ads and just say, let us run your marketing, no one signs up. If I go, does your email marketing suck? I'll guarantee you a 20% lift in your email marketing specifically. A lot of people sign up because I'm pinpointing a specific pain point, right? If I'm just going broad, oh yeah, if you want marketing, hit us up, never works, right? If I'm like, if you want marketing and if you're a dentist who wants more leads walking in the door and wants to market on social media, hit us up.
Yeah.
That subset's still 100,000 people. You know what I mean? And so you just need to be more direct with your messaging and stuff. But at Bad Marketing, that's what we do to grow. And quite frankly, bro, that's what we do in all our companies. In my restaurant business, that's what I do. I run Google ads, I run Facebook ads, I run Instagram ads, and I run influencers. The same thing that we would do at Bad Marketing, right? And then in my software companies, same thing. We run ads, we get leads, they go to our sales team closes them. My recruiting company out of Lebanon, I have one of the best recruiting companies out of Lebanon, Remotely X. We basically like take top talent in Lebanon, the Middle East, train them, savages, and place them in companies all over the world. Like literally like most of my friends now, all their top talent is from me in Lebanon, right? That entire business runs on literally ads. We run ads to a video page of me talking about why talent in Lebanon is elite and why they should invest in talent in Lebanon as opposed to somewhere else. They fill out an application, they get on a call with someone, and that person closes them on a deal and they pay us and then we provide the service, right? So like it's just about attention, converting that attention, and then fulfilling on that product. Like that is business 101 as a whole. And I just think like the first step in the process is attention. The second step is conversion. The third step is fulfillment. Therefore, they're that important in that order. I can find someone usually to fulfill a product.
Yep.
I can't always find someone that can generate attention. That's the hardest one.
Yep.
And if I have the attention, I need someone to be able to convert the attention. Sometimes it's the same person, right? That's a superpower. That's why I'm good at what I do, right?
Yep.
I can do all three. But the third one is the least valuable because I can always replace it. The second one is the second least valuable, and the first one is the most valuable, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I chose to be in this lane, because the attention lane is the one that I think can build any company. The rest can be figured out.
I think that's a great trait of entrepreneurs, is knowing what tasks to delegate, right? And put that there, build a team out for that, and you be in charge of this. And that's how you actually build a proper full-on business that's had a valuation of $40 million.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
You know,
it's insane, bro, but it's like, in the grand scheme, it's baby money.
Okay, so on that point there then, what baby money, as you say right now, what's your actual dream and vision for Bad Marketing or for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, so for Bad Marketing right now, we're transitioning to building our own brands. So like over the next 5 years, most of our income will start coming from our own projects as opposed to client projects.
What's the reason for that shift, if you don't mind me asking?
More control. Look, at the end of the day, if we work on someone else's business, I can only give you so much. It's like you can only lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink.
Of course,
I don't know if you ever heard that. I'm not saying like that's the case. A lot of times it's done for you services, so we're doing stuff for the client. But it's like, bro, if I'm telling you I need you to do this thing for us to succeed, and it takes you a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months. It's like, bro, I could just do this for myself and keep 100% of the profits instead of just making a monthly retainer. Obviously, it comes with more risks, more headaches, fulfillments, etc. Right? But I think over time, that's where we're going. And so that's why now you see me investing in all these brands and companies on the side, is because Bad Marketing will be the engine that drives these other companies. It's not going to be necessarily a source of massive amounts of profit, but will build other companies that are profitable and then end up exiting those businesses. So like I could sell Bad Marketing for whatever, let's just say $40 million, right? Since we use that as an example. Or I could take that business and sell 10 companies for $40 million. And still keep the engine that creates the opportunity to do that for all these other companies.
Would you ever want to exit Bad Marketing?
At one point I did, but I don't think I do.
Why not?
Because like I said, it's going to be the engine for all my other businesses.
So why did you want to exit?
Because it sounded sexy, bro. It's a really hard business to run. The agency model is probably the hardest fucking model to run. It's people driven. It's service based. It's like me to you, B2B. You have your own opinion of your business. I have my own opinion of the business, and I need you to trust my opinion more than your own, who's a business owner, but you're also paying for my opinion. It's a weird dynamic, but I also can't service everyone. So I have to have employees. So I have 200 employees. It's a very taxing business model. So at some point I was like, you know what, dude, if someone was going to pay me 5 years of profit, I'll exit. Fuck it. Yeah. And then as I started thinking like that, I started realizing, well, damn, dude, I've invested so much into building this team. I've invested so much into building this brand. I've invested in what could I do that's not selling the entire thing? Sure, it's $30-40 million, but like, what could I do to generate that without having to give up the keys to the house? And how I look at it now is like, okay, bad marketing is like a factory. So imagine like, the Ferrari factory to make cars. I would rather have a factory that's constantly making cars that I can sell than sell the factory and not be able to make any more cars and just be sitting with money.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And so now bad marketing is going to be like our factory. So it's going to be the power engine behind a lot of our brands that we're building. And we're going to exit a lot of these companies in 4 to 5 years. And everyone's going to look back and be like, damn, how the fuck did they do it? And it's because of this whole thing.
Who inspires you?
I get asked this question a lot. And I think the right answer is different people inspire me in different categories. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Alex Hormozi just did a $100 million launch. That's really fucking inspiring.
Yep.
In the online business space. Is it inspiring from a relationship standpoint? I know they have a good relationship, but they also don't have kids, and that's a choice of theirs, but that's not what I want. So I can't look up to their relationship.
Yeah.
Because that's not the relationship.
You have different dynamics that you want.
Exactly, right? And I also can't look up to a guy, example, I could look up to a guy in business who's done $1 billion. Wow, he's so good at business. I look up to him, but he's gone through 3 divorces. I don't look up to him in relationships. Whereas on the other hand, I might have a friend who only makes $100,000 a year, isn't rich, balling out of control, but he's a significantly better father than other people that I have, right? And so I look up to him as a father and as a husband, but I don't look up to him in business. And so I think the problem is a lot of people look at it as like I look up to someone in one size fits all manner. But at the end of the day, I piece things together based on who I look up to for what category. Like, ain't no way I'm going to my business mentor who's gotten 3 divorces for advice on my marriage. But I'll go to my friend who's a really successful marriage, spends most time with his kids and wife, and gave up money to do so, to ask him his opinion and try to find a middle ground between giving up the money to do so and doing that, if that makes sense.
If you had to say this here, let me paint the picture for you. Internet's gone down, all your content is deleted, except this one podcast. What's 3 lessons that you would share with the audience that would remain forever?
Oh, okay. Let's go one at a time because I don't know 3. So I'm just going to think of one at a time. We'll see where it takes us. Okay.
Let's have it.
First one, most important one is do not give a fuck what anyone else thinks. Not even your parents. I don't even care. The only people that you should care about what they think is the person who has exactly what you want. Okay. So if you're just starting out and your parents don't have what you want and they're telling you whatever you're doing is not a good idea, and someone who has what you want is telling you it's a good idea, and everyone around you, your friends, your parents, your teachers, your fucking family, like everyone's telling you what it's a bad idea, I don't care what they think. I only care about the person's opinion that actually has what I want. So I think too many people hinder their entire life and their success and their happiness on strictly what other people think. My parents think what a wife's family think. Bro, my friend is so successful and he's like concerned because his wife's family thinks less of him because he's talking on stages. And because he's talking on stages, they think he's now too good for them and whatever, but he's the nicest guy. He's just talking on stages to give other people advice to help. Who gives a fuck what they think, but he does because it's his wife's family and blah. It's hard even at the highest levels to not give a fuck what other people think. You know what I mean? But if you believe you're doing the right thing, you can't let that noise get in there, because that's probably the biggest killer of people's dreams is other people's noise. You know what I mean? That's number 1. Number 2, skills over money. So like, for example, for me, part of the story that I didn't really mention too much was while I was waiting for the supplement company to kind of work out or not work out, I couldn't find a job. I ended up getting a temporary job at a gym doing sales. I became the number 1 salesperson in the entire company, not the location, but like 170 locations, right? I was doing pretty well, dude. I was making like, low 6 figures, but like for 21 years old, I was fucking, my friends are making 4K.
You're balling, bro.
I was balling out of control. I thought I was the richest guy. And I quit that job 6 months in not because of money. It was actually the opposite. It was because of skills. I was like, you know what, dude, I'm number 1. Like, how much more can I be taught if I'm just number 1 and I'm putting in 70% effort? You know what I mean? I need something that challenges me. I'm still young. I'm 22. I need something that can teach me more, because I believe that if I learn from 20 to 29, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying just reading books and shit, implementing, but not making money the primary focus, but making skill set and value creation the primary focus, that just in the year of 29 to 30, I can make more money than a friend who worked 10 years just to make money and not to learn skills.
Yeah.
And that was true, bro. I focused on skills. I literally took a job with my family's businesses for $2,500 a month instead of my 6-figure paying job, just so I could play with marketing and experiment and learn and like build skill sets that were different. Because at that point I realized, bro, money's just it's a number on a fucking phone, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine I give up my whole life just to get a number on my phone that like someone could accidentally just fucking hit backspace at a bank twice and my shit's gone.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So like, that's how I look at it. I look at money, all this stuff is fake. So it's like, am I really going to pass up 10 years of my life just to make more money in those 10 years than someone else? Or am I going to like get to those 10 years at the end and just be the most skilled, savage motherfucker who can give value to anyone? So number 3, leading perfectly into that, is like build your network. Like people always say your network is your net worth. I don't think that's exactly true. But your network is the most valuable asset you have. That's 100% true. And that's what I was talking about earlier. But the only way to build your network is to be more of value yourself, right? Like if I walk into a room and there's a fucking billionaire in the room and I sit at his table and I'm a bum, I have no skill sets, I have no connections, I have nothing I can provide for him. That will not be a relationship I can take advantage of. I can't befriend him. I won't be able to like have an actual working relationship with him. If I can provide him value just from what I know and be like, oh, you run this kind of business? Have you run these kind of ads? No, you haven't. Oh, bro, let me show you how you should be doing it. Think about it this way. Run marketing this way. You can make a lot more money. Oh my gosh, Eddie's brought me so much value. I need to connect with Eddie. Yeah. Bro, Eddie, you need to talk to my marketing team. Blah, 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 blah. Now all of a sudden there's like reciprocated value where, hey, bro, I've given you all this value and information. Now they want to be friends with you. Now you want to network. And I'm not doing it in a malicious way. I'm doing it because I can provide that value and I'm giving it to them for free. And in doing so, they recognize that value and now they want to connect with me and now they're a part of my network, right? If I don't have those things, I'm just a useless bum who's mooching off them. I'm a fan. You know what I mean? If you want to move from a fan to like an ally or an acquaintance, you got to have skills. And so I think those 3 things: don't give a fuck, build skills, not money, especially in the beginning. Then eventually money comes way easier. And then 3, use the value that you've created to be able to build a network that's untouchable and have a reputation of trust and shit like that. I mean, that's huge. You were talking about trust. I'll tell you trust, bro. Someone goes to follow me and they see like 200 people that they follow me. Yeah. That's trust. Yeah. 100%. They're like, oh shit, these guys follow you? Yeah. Who are you? You know what I mean? And so, and I don't even know who some of these people are that follow me, but they follow them. They look up to them. They have trust in them and they all follow me, which therefore has that carried trust over. That's network, that's trust, that's skills, that's all of it combined kind of coming into fruition.
And I'm going to hit you with one last one, right? Because I feel like this whole podcast, we've sat down with Eddie, the big bad wolf, right? In terms of marketing. Let's go on the softer side because I can see you're a family man. I can see that, have you got kids right now?
Yeah, 2 kids.
2 kids. How old are they?
3 and 1.
3 and 1. So this is going to be perfect, right? Family man, 2 kids with a wife, right? If you had to imagine this, your kids, your 2 daughters in the future, when they hit around 18 years old, they see this podcast, they stumble across it randomly. This is at the point where you're retired. What's the message that you'd want to leave for them?
For my kids? I mean, I'd say I hope I made them proud, to be honest. I think the advice I've given is already enough advice for them. And I think if anything, like I'd want to look back and be proud and know like I still kept my marriage intact. You know what I mean? I built all these things, but I still kept our marriage intact. I want to know that like they go to school and their friends like watch me and they're like, oh, that's your dad. That's cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I'd love for them to be able to experience like having a cool, well-known dad where like their friends and their friends' parents all look up to it. And it's kind of cool, bro, because it's already there. Like my 3-year-old daughter goes to school and some of the dads in her class watch my podcast. Like I didn't know until she went into school and they're like, oh, hey man, I watch your stuff. I learned from your course. I'm like, dude, this is like really cool. Like I'm making an impact on all these people through content distribution without realizing the impact that I'm making. And that automatically makes my daughter's life easier, right? She's in class now and her friends, like their dads think her dad is cool. You know what I mean? And it just makes life easier. And so if anything, I just want them to watch this and be proud and be like, wow, dad did it. Like dad not only made money, but like he was still there for us all the time. He was attending our soccer matches. He was helping us travel for sports, taking us places, but he also like still loved mom the whole time, and he prioritized her, and that marriage is still intact. And I think just being like a complete man as a whole is like what I'd want them to see in me. And like, it doesn't really matter what I say on this podcast. All that matters is, like you said, the outcome in 15 years when they're 18.
Yeah.
Like, what was the actual outcome? Did I like live up to what I'm talking about, or did I just fucking run my mouth on a podcast like everyone else?
Fairs. Well, Eddie, if people want to follow you and they want to get more value from you, where can they do so?
Instagram, YouTube, probably the best two sources. I drop the most long form game on YouTube. I mean, that shit is gas. On YouTube, really valuable information. But I'm active daily on Instagram. I'm the only one that logs in. Probably one of the few people that like actually just runs their own Instagram. My team posts, but you know, I run the show. So if you DM me, if you need any advice or anything, I'm always here to help.
Sweet, man. Sweet. I'm going to leave all the links in the description below. Eddie, I want to thank you very much for coming on the podcast. All the knowledge that we've learned from you throughout the whole time of doing this podcast and stuff like that. Yeah, man. Yeah, it'll be sick.
Let's go, man. Thanks a lot for having me on. Oh, it's too far. It's too far. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks so much.
Guys, if you enjoyed that, remember, leave your feedback, because the only way we can grow as a podcast, as a business, is with your feedback. We want to cater for you guys. This podcast is purely for you. So if you like it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and check out both myself and Eddie on socials. Peace.